Hello, my name is Dallas, and I'm back with more Octopath Traveler, and as I mentioned in the last part, I'm going to be doing Cyrus's mission now. Or I'm going to recruit him, I should say. So I think I know who stole that tomb. Perhaps I should go have a little chat with him, just to make sure we all understand one another. His name is Cyrus, and he's a scholar. This is Alistam, nestled in the fertile plains of the Flatlands. It is home to the Royal Academy, where many a scholar studies night and day, to bring the light of knowledge to the royal family and to all the realm. He passes his days in the halls of the great library, devouring tombs to his heart's content. It is in that library where he learns of a grievous theft. Certain that one of his fellow scholars is the culprit, Cyrus sets out alone to confront the man. In his shadowy subterranean study, he will need wise allies in the path he has chosen. Take Cyrus along. Travel to other areas may be restricted and complete it. Yeah, here's the beginning of it now.
And so it was that Atlasdam was founded some 2 centuries ago. Indeed, our fair city-state is among the longest standing on the continent of Austera. But there was another city-state with a history as long and proud as our own that came to a tragic ruin only 8 short years ago. Now, who can tell me its name? How about you, Cyrus?
I think it was...
Now, no need to get all flustered. There's no shame in not knowing an answer, so long as you have a desire to learn. The answer is in your textbook. Go on now, look it up.
Yes, Professor. Let's see. I believe it was Hornburg?
That is correct. Hornburg was ruled over by a royal family, said to be descended from priests of an ancient and long-forgotten religion. On the other hand, our fair Atlasdam was founded by one of the original clans that inhabited the Flatlands. Who can tell me how many clans lived in the Flatlands at the time? Your Highness?
The histories have it that 8 clans did live in the Flatlands in those days.
Correct you are, Your Highness. It was a time of great strife here in the Flatlands as the 8 clans waged a long and bitter war. Change would come when the armies of Grandport invaded these lands some 2 centuries ago. At the time, the rulers of Grandport sought to exert their influence over territories inland. Ironically, this compelled the warring tribes to put aside their differences and unite against their common foe. Oh, but look at the time. We'll pick up where we left off next time. Don't forget to read chapters 3 and 4 before our next lecture. And be prepared to answer questions on any of the material within.
Yes, Professor.
Thank you for another most stimulating lecture, Professor Albright.
Hello? Professor Albright, Mercedes from the Royal Library came by with a message for you. Seems today's your lucky day. You've been granted permission to enter the Special Archives.
Splendid!
Finally, I can begin my research. The library is just outside the palace. I'd best make haste. I can see a chest down there. What do you have to say?
Greetings!
His Majesty possesses a unique understanding of the scholarly pursuits.
Not bad,
He
eh?
founded the Royal Library and Academy where nobles and commoners alike can learn freely.
How'd you do?
Head lies the audience chamber. You can seek His Majesty's counsel, pray proceed. What's over here? I don't see nothing. There's 3 chests down there.
Professor Albright.
Oh, thank heavens you're here. I thought I'd missed you.
Your Highness.
What can I do for you, Your Highness?
The truth of the matter is,
If you can spare the time, I had a question about something we learned today.
But of course!
It would be my pleasure to answer anything.
Mm-hmm.
After all, my role as your tutor is as important to me as any of my research. Unfortunately, I cannot spare much time. Is the question a quick one?
indeed.
Yes, Professor, will not take long. I was just wondering about the ancient religion of Hornburg. Pray tell, what did they worship?
Very astute of you.
However, I fear that nearly all the texts detailing the nature of the religion were burned and lost when Hornburg fell. I see a shame that.
The truth is,
I do, however, have a theory of my own. I believe that the royal family of Hornburg were guardians of an ancient power. Mind you, this is not idle speculation. My theory is based on the fact that let us continue the discussion another time. My apologies for keeping you, Professor.
with pleasure.
No need for apologies, and it would be my pleasure, Your Highness. When such questions occur to you as a sign of a sharp and curious mind.
Why, thank you.
Your lectures on the history of the realm are most fascinating to me. For if I do not learn of our past, how can I hope to lead my people to a bright future?
Indeed.
A most admirable philosophy, Your Highness. The people of this land are truly fortunate to be led by one of such wisdom and kindness, as I am truly fortunate to have the opportunity to serve in some small way. Far too kind, Professor Albright. I'm proud to be your student.
Ah,
Dear, I'm running late.
good
Pray
day.
do not forget your assignment, Your Highness.
Farewell.
Of course, Professor.
Ah,
Oh, hello there, trees.
Yes.
Did you have a question for me as well?
for me?
No.
No, good day, Professor.
Hmm?
Well, I want to check out those chests first. Can't just be leaving those. Thunder Soulstone. I don't have anything here for you. Honestly, I don't.
Hello?
Royal Palace. Leave the palace at east and you'll find the Royal Academy. The library lies to the west. Herb of Awakening. Inspiriting Plum. Healing Grape. So I think you said west for the
Hello.
Palace Gate lies just north. To the east, you'll find the Royal Academy, where the realm's most promising thinkers receive their education. So I want to go west from the Palace Gates. Russell just isn't cut out for that sort of work. Whatever it was, I'll move along now.
It's me, Cyrus.
Good day, Mercedes. Cyrus Albright here to browse the special archives. Professor Albright, you're looking quite eager today. When I heard that an original copy of the Church of the Flame, a complete history, had been donated to our archives, I simply had to be the first to see it.
I see.
You're more on top of our collection than I am. Just sign here.
With pleasure.
There's something amiss.
Actually,
You're someone known as the most brilliant mind in the Royal Academy. When you talk about books, you're as giddy as a schoolboy. When you put it that way, yes, much as a child is fascinated by a new toy. I'm titillated by the prospect of acquiring new knowledge.
I see.
The expression on your face says it all. Anyway, everything seems to be in order. Enjoy your quest for knowledge, Professor.
Many thanks. What have we here?
The tome is nowhere to be found. Did someone return it to the wrong shelf? Not here either.
An
These archives are
interesting
strictly guarded
dilemma.
and curated. Wherever could it have gone?
Professor Albright.
The headmaster would see you at once. All the time, so I might ask of you a favor. What might that be?
The truth is,
The tomb I mentioned before seems to have gone missing. Could you locate it for me?
I see.
I'll begin looking at once, Professor.
many thanks. Cyrus Albright, by your request, sir.
Do enter. My apologies for summoning you on such short notice.
How might I be of assistance, Headmaster?
That treatise on arcane studies you published. What in the gods' names were you thinking?
Sir? I do believe I made my hypothesis perfectly clear.
I'm not talking about your hypothesis. You went out of your way to cite one of the texts in our special archives. The knowledge housed in those tomes is the Royal Academy's greatest treasure. It is not to be divulged to the public at your whim. Laying it bare in one of your silly papers is out of the question.
I am fully aware of the value of those tomes, Headmaster. It is for that very reason I would share the knowledge with my peers.
You are to share nothing. That wisdom is for the Academy and the Academy alone.
But that goes against everything.
Enough, Cyrus!
Even my best argument is sure to fall on deaf ears. The Headmaster sees knowledge as a medal or precious stone, something to be appreciated by its rightful owner alone. Knowledge is power, and power is to be hoarded. An unfortunate attitude, indeed. My sincere apologies, Headmaster. It won't happen again. Is there anything else you need of me?
That is all. You may go. Wait. There was one last thing.
Sir?
I heard the Special Archives will be closing early today. If you have research to do there, I would do so quickly.
Good gods. It's as if he enjoys watching me suffer. Thank you for your concern, Headmaster. In that case, I'll be on my way.
Enter.
Excuse me.
What's the matter?
It's about Professor Albright, sir.
Hello there.
This is the Royal Academy, Alistam's pride and joy.
Sure is
All are
great.
welcome to engage in pursuit of knowledge here.
Hello?
Just south of here lies the castle town. It's a lively place.
Can I help you?
Professor Albright.
A moment of your
Did you have any
time.
luck finding the tomb?
My apologies.
I'm afraid not.
Say it
It's
is
the most
not so.
unfortunate. One might conclude that it had been stolen.
Actually,
Taking books out from these archives is strictly forbidden. And as you know, the keys to the vault are entrusted to only a select few. Quite honestly, it would be easier to steal the crown off the king's head.
A hole.
An impregnable vault, a disappearing tomb. It would seem we have quite the mystery on our hands. And the mysteries of the world are meant to be solved. Or so the scholar in me says, would you not agree? If it had been stolen, I would say it's a job for the city guard. But I can see you won't let it go until you've cracked the case, as it were. Detective Cyrus is on the case.
Indeed.
Say the indeed, a habit I just can't seem to break. Once a puzzle is placed before me, I simply cannot rest until I've worked out a solution.
I see.
Far be it from me to stand in your way. It must be tough being a genius.
Leave it to me.
I'll not deny it. Worry not, the tomb will be back on the shelf before you can bat an eyelash.
Take care.
Thanks, best of luck in your search.
Time to do
And
some
the game is
research.
afoot. Where to begin my search? I suppose I should inquire with Mercedes as to where the keys to the library are stored. The guard at the front door would know who has been frequenting the library lately, as might my fellow scholars. Then mayhap I should pay the headmaster a visit as well. So each character's unique action to overcome any obstacles. So try pressing my in front of a townsperson. Cyrus can scrutinize and glean new knowledge from the townspeople. Maybe that's an interesting ability. Of course, I've got a key to the archives, and no, I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes is all. But even if I was sleeping, what would it matter? What kind of fool would bother stealing a worthless tomb anyway? So what does that mean? Let's see. The key to the archives, well, I haven't got that, but I'm not surprised someone stole a tomb, considering what they're worth. I've gambling debts myself, so I understand the temptation. Only Headmaster Yvonne and the guard station outside should have a key to the library archives. So, what I'm gathering so far is that since only 2 people have the key, then they either gave it to somebody who took it, or it's one of them. I'll just leave that classroom alone. Same with that one. Nothing in here. I assume this is the headmaster's chamber. No foe will I have a key to special archives, and that I would never be so foolish as to let fall into the wrong hands. In any event, I've had no reason to pursue those tombs in quite some time. He has a key to this troop, but the dust gathered upon it suggests he's not used it lately.
Splendid!
The headmaster and the guard.
But of course!
And the guard fell asleep, likely. The only two keys are archives, one belonging to the headmaster and one to the guardsman. The guards. The headmaster's key is safely locked away in his office. Furthermore, he hasn't visited the archives today. On the other hand, the guards have been acting suspiciously as of late, even sleeping while on active duty.
Oh.
Be all too easy a task to lift the key off his person. So is it possible that the guard is our man?
No.
He would have no motive. Must be someone who understands the true value of the tomb. Should say one of my colleagues. Most likely one who has accrued a frightful gambling debt.
Which means that...
Our villain is... Russell.
Yes.
Indubitably, the shifty scholar Russell. I dare say my logic is foolproof.
Shall we begin?
All that remains is to find our man and make him confess to the crime. Word has it he's been doing his research underground these days.
Now
I
then.
think this time I did some fieldwork of my own. And now is it going back to the main time? And so I've taken upon myself to investigate this suspicious scholar. Interested in coming along, are you? It seems you have quite the curious streak yourself. But of course, mysteries exist only to be solved. After all, it is of utmost importance to remember that. There we go again. Don't let me talk your ear off, but I'll be glad for your help. Let's get right to business then. No doubt we'll find Russell in his laboratory down below. Neat. So one thing I want to see now is I think...
How fare thee? And thus...
I should probably try to buy some stuff for him if it's available. Armor. Arcane glaive. He uses rods. I should probably just save up for the oak staff. Because that is a ton of elemental attack, and I'm assuming he's a sorcerer of sorts. So let's save up for the oak staff. In fact, I should probably just check out his abilities now. Yeah, he's got Fireball, Ice Wind, Lightning Bolt. I already have Lightning, so I don't really need him to grab it. All Foes twice, though, sounds kind of nice, but I want to focus him on Fire and Blizzard. Feel the HP and one weakness of a single foe. That one might be pretty useful, too. How much do those go? Oh, wow, those are expensive. 22 each. Okay, but I think I'm actually gonna save it here and call it, and then I'll pick up this, finishing off Cyrus's quest in the next part. So that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. See